Hello, everyone, and welcome to Redemption HQ. And we've got a very special episode waiting for you today. Today is going to be the first reveal of the Return of the Living Dead. We have an early copy here, and we're going to be talking about that. Joining me today is Robert D. and Spectral Force. How you doing, gentlemen?
We're alive and hungry.
We return.
Brains! Brains!
Send
Oh,
more
sorry.
cops.
Sorry, I didn't have dinner.
The
Fat.
pain. The pain of dying.
Not that we're being melodramatic. Not at all.
Oh, I can't wait. This is exciting. Just like everything about Returning the Living Dead, like the more time I've been spending around this, because this is we've started the show. This is the first cinematic adventure we've had since we've started this. It's the newest one to come out, and getting to spend so much time in this and researching and experiencing stuff. It's been really, really fascinating and really cool and a little surreal at times. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, so if you're in the Discord, you may have seen my post, but I had a little bit of a back and forth with Beverly from the first film. And Nick Lowe, the writer of the book, has kind of filled in some gaps about what's going on, and I did a little bit of a deep dive, and there's like a whole lawsuit between the original actors and the new company, and honestly, I don't know about I don't know where the actors think they've got any footing, but that's just me. I'm more into bird law than anything. Okay, like I'm not copyrights. I'm just bird law. All right, so.
No worries, man. No worries.
We're just gonna get that out of the way here real quick. But what about you guys? What's your experience with Return of the Living Dead and zombies, all that shit, man?
I remember zombie movies and zombie comics and shows when they were massively huge when I was a really small kid. And then they kind of waned a little bit, but then a couple of years ago when you started getting like the Walking Dead back on the TVs again, and you started seeing a lot more of the various computer games involving getting rid of the zombie. Like Resident Evil had kind of a zombie overtone to it for me. There's something that's almost primally iconic about being afraid that the dead are going to come back and eat you. And it's got a built-in survival plot hook. It's got built-in bad guys that don't stay down.
No.
And then you have the movies that kind of turn that on its head a little bit. Like, you guys ever see Warm Bodies with Nicholas Hoult?
I have not.
It was
No.
a zombie romance movie where the zombie eats the brains of the main leading lady's boyfriend, and ends up absorbing the emotional connection that the now dead boyfriend had to the young lady. So he becomes protective of her. He starts developing reason again, and kind of he's a zombie. He's still dead, but he basically ends up becoming the leading guy, much to the leading lady's confusion and absolute terror at the start of the movie.
Yeah.
But zombies just they kind of much like vampires. They tend to really draw in the pop culture eye about the questions of death, about what exactly is immortality, and dear Lord, it can look creepy. So, like we did a little talk about Highlander a little bit ago, but this is the other side of the immortality legends, where it's one of those you really should have read the fine print before you said yes. But this one's is not supernatural at all. This one's this particular franchise is based on science fiction, of chemical reanimation in a truly horrific way.
Yeah, when I think of like the modern more modern zombie movies. I mean, the classics growing up were great, but Zombieland,
Oh yeah.
Love
uh, Shaun of
Zombieland.
the, Shaun of the Dead, Boy Scouts Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. I don't know if you guys seen that one. That one was pretty funny.
Yeah.
And 28 Days Later.
Oh yeah, that was intense.
That's a good
You
one.
know, you have a whole bunch of different types of zombies. Um, you know, I don't know if any of them. Well, three of those weren't meant to be scary. 28 Days Later, I think, was kind of marketed as a bit like scary because they just basically just ran at you like unload most zombies like "Meh," you know move at a snail's pace. Same thing like Walking
Right.
Dead, but
Hmm.
these guys are just like all amped up on rage. It's like I'm coming after you.
You're right. They're
And
they're
Yeah.
sprinting.
leading into the zombie games, 7 Days to Die.
Hmm.
You're talking came out December 2013 in early access and still under development. Um, but they have the different type of zombies in there. They have crawlers. They have ones that like are like a constant state of rage and they see you, they run at you whether it's day or night.
Hmm.
They have irradiated zombies that regenerate health, so you need to do high damage to get rid of them.
Hmm.
Again, I don't find the game scary. I have got quite a bit of hours in it, and they're more of a nuisance to me now than actual scary. Now, when I
Right.
first started playing, they're banging on the door trying to get in. It's me and my friend and my cousin were playing. It's like at nighttime, and like this is probably the first or second time we played. And my cousin just goes and opens the door of the building where all these zombies come in and just like bend us over and make us take it. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? So, it was like we just got ate. That was
Mhm.
there was we were new, we didn't know what to do.
Right.
They were breaking away. You could see the door just like falling apart from the beating on anyway, trying to fix it so they don't get in. This guy just goes and opens it. I'm like, dude.
Where's your survival instinct?
Yeah, now he's in the military and still doesn't have that survival instinct.
Oh my god.
And then you've got
Yeah.
the other side of the zombie thing. Like, uh, did you guys know that the Disney made a trilogy of teen dramedy musical zombie movies?
Oh, what was that Zombie High or Zombie
Yeah,
U? Or
yeah,
something?
something like that. Yeah, and like the
Yeah.
sequel brought werewolves into it, and then aliens got into the third film. But it was
Yeah.
yeah, zombies have gone back and forth between horrendously terrifying to oh this is
Yeah.
cutesy.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, they're great though. I mean, zombies. I'm the same. I got exposed to zombies when I was a little kid. Was it Resident Evil and of course Night of the Living Dead. Um, I think the first one that really scared the shit out of me was the remake, the '90s remake. Did any of you ever catch it when it first aired on um, Jabbo or Job Bob Bo Briggs? His Monster Vision and that
No, I
TNT
don't
show
think I
that he
saw
had.
that. No.
Oh, that was the first time I ever caught it. Oh my god, you got to see the remake is way. I think it's way scarier, but I agree with the criticisms. Like the first film, like the message and kind of all that stuff is way better. The storytelling is a lot better in the first movie than it is in the remake, but the remake, just like the makeup, because I think I want to say that was Tom Savini who did the zombies. So the zombies just looked killer in that one. But yeah, Return of the Living Dead. What I love about that movie is, like all the stuff that people talk about. Like, oh, I don't like running zombies. And what was it? The Zack Snyder remake of Dawn of the Dead had running zombies, and they're like, oh, that's stupid. That's not how they are. And it's like Return of the Living Dead already did running zombies and thinking zombies and talking zombies and
Great.
all the things that are opposite. But I mean, but just like the movie says, you mean the movie lied?
Yeah, you gotta
But
love it when the heroes use movie logic and it doesn't work out.
oh my god,
Yeah.
and that's one of the things I love about Return of the Living Dead is not only did they use movie logic, but like they did everything correct according to all the movies, and it only made things worse as the movie went on. And like
Yep.
no matter what they did, it just got worse and worse and worse.
So let me, getting off the movies for a second, or maybe more,
Yeah.
role-playing games involving
Oh
zombies,
yeah.
Yeah.
like specifically zombies. Now, some years ago, and I'm probably talking over a decade, there was one released for Savage Worlds, and I've chatted with the author of that because he also does different novels, not all zombie related, or actually really none zombie related, but I've had extensive chats with him about this and other stuff, and just regular bullshit. But it's called War of the Dead,
Hmm.
and it was Savage Worlds, and he put it out as 4 separate books. And what it would happen over the course of a year, and so it all starts off. You're on a cruise ship, and the breakout happens while you're on the cruise ship. So you have to escape from the cruise ship and make it back to land. And it was 4 books. Each book had 13 weeks of the of the game, of the year to get through the whole year. And then he put out a follow up called World of the Dead, which was on Kickstarter, and that happens 5 years after the outbreak.
Mm-hmm.
And me and my friends had played the World of the Dead, the 4-book series, and it was fun. You had different types of zombies. So I think it was like 5 different types. Now, you guys are familiar with Supernatural, right?
You love it.
If we discover it, we can name it.
Right.
So, in this world, Romero never existed. Zombie movies never existed.
Oh.
So this was a whole new thing. So, there are like 5 different zombie types in here. And me and one of my buddies, big fan of Supernatural,
Mm-hmm.
and we're playing this. So since these are all new creatures, we named them.
Nice.
So I think we called what was the? I'm trying to remember all the names. I think I don't remember what we called the original, like the Shambler type zombie that. But then you had one that ran, so we call it the Speedwagon or Oreo Speedwagon. Then you had like toddler zombies or baby zombies, and we called them the Offspring. Then you had like these big hulking ones that we called the Great Whites. Then you had the ones that in the game they were generals, but they were ones that can control the other zombies. And we called them Elvis.
Oh jeez.
So I really wish I could remember the original, like the slow one, what we called that. But yeah, so we all named them after something like musical, whether it's a band or, if they're bands, really what it was.
That's very supernatural in and of itself with all the references to rock bands.
Right. Well, that's
Yeah.
where we got the original
That's
idea.
awesome.
So that's what we did, and it was a nice series. It is, I think it's still available on Drive-Thru
Oh.
if anybody's interested.
All right.
It's War of the Dead, and then the one after World of the Dead, which I did back on the Kickstarter.
Cool.
But that, talking about the zombies reminded me of that. We played that. That had to be, oh shit, it might even be longer. Because Obama was president during that time.
Oh wow, that takes me back a minute.
Yeah, so I mean that was what 2008 to 2016, so it was sometime.
Yeah,
in there.
it's been over 8 years now. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was somewhere in that time frame. I want to say probably close to like 2010 that we started doing that. But that was a fun zombie RPG that we played.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, have you guys played any good zombie RPGs, or even not so good ones?
Well, I'm trying. There was It was actually a sort of a homebrew mashup of different World of Darkness settings that some friends of mine and I were playing a couple of years back during the pandemic with online stuff, and like there were one or two of the characters that were I think was connected to the Samdi bloodline of the Nosferatu, which are all which look like walking skeletons, even though technically vampires. So that was the closest direct zombie one I played,
Hmm.
but uh, I've definitely gone on zombie hunts while playing Dungeons and Dragons over the years.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Oh yeah, because they're staple. In fact, I remember there was this one particular campaign. The zombie, because in Dungeons and Dragons, the zombies are largely neutral unless they're a specialized one. So there's this horde of neutral zombies shambling around, and we're all thinking, okay, it's like that scene from Ernest Saves Christmas. Nobody
Mhm.
moves and nobody dies. And of course, there's always that one player that decides it's funny to literally light one of the damn things on fire, so now the entire horde of them is chasing us.
Of course.
So
Of course.
yeah, that was more than mildly nightmarish. But yeah, and I know Supernatural had an RPG game that came out. I never actually got a chance to play it, but I did get a copy of the book and read through it and was thinking, oh, this would be so cool to hunt down some zombies with these rules.
Yeah, so I bought that book for my cousin in hopes that she would run it, and I don't even know if she ever read it.
One of those
But
gifts
I
that was
saw
a
it.
little for you, a little for them.
Well, no, she likes Supernatural too, but she
Hmm.
can't watch it by herself. I mean, she's
Ah,
a grown woman with 2 kids and can't watch it by herself.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tease her about that on
everyone's
Saturday
got
or
their own
Sunday.
thresholds. Yeah.
I mean, come on, it's not scary.
Right. Um, as for myself, D20 Modern's post-apocalyptic or apocalypse, I should say. I think that was one of my earliest zombie outings. I think we kind of made like a homebrew Resident Evil styled campaign out of that, and then speaking of Dungeons and Dragons, Eberron has an adventure where you fight zombies that were part of like a manufacturing accident. So the zombies are covered in glass, and you have to shatter the glass in order to like get in and actually start doing damage to them.
Hmm.
And so they can cut you with like the shards of glass that's covering their body and really mess you up, but it just takes extra effort to just smash through and finally just take them down. I thought that was one of the coolest. That was one of the coolest adventures I got to play in, and that was God. What was I think that was back in oh 04, oh 05, I think, when I did that Eberron adventure.
Oh wow.
So
Mm. Well, yeah,
yeah,
that was like the height of 3.5. So
Yeah.
yeah,
hmm,
that sounds right.
yeah,
I did a Eberron campaign
Oh, I love
for a
yeah.
little
Eberron.
while. I
It's a
miss
cool
Dark
setting.
Sun.
It really is. Yeah. I mean,
Dark Sun's cool too.
oh yeah.
But yeah, after that, no, I never gotten to play a whole lot of zombie games. I know The Walking Dead has one, and I want to say it's by, is it Free Play? I want to say it's Free Play, the same people who do Aliens.
Oh no,
They
no, that's Free League.
are Free League, yeah, thank you, Free
Oh
League. So,
right, right.
Yeah, because they also do Twilight 2000 Fourth Edition.
okay,
Oh.
yeah. So yeah, Free League has that, and then I want to say Renegade Studios has a game called Outbreak. No, those are the only other ones I'm really familiar with. So, but I like Everyday Hero. It's a cool system, and so having probably the the Dark Souls of zombie properties, IPs. This is definitely, I think, tops in my book. I can't wait to play it. I really can't.
Yeah, they'll be very challenging antagonists to deal with, and there's the option to be one,
Yeah.
Yes.
which
Yeah.
you really get to see in the second film of the franchise, and
Mhm.
that main character that inspired, I think, this possibility is directly referenced in the sneak peek that we got.
The rageful
Yeah,
undead.
yeah. In fact, there's actually a
Yeah.
quote from the character of Jenny, I think it is,
Mhm.
about so like the pain helping keep the hunger at bay.
Yeah, She's one of the main characters from the third one.
Yeah, sorry, the
The
third one. That's right, the third one.
Yeah, the second one. The second one was where they learned that they can take the zombies down with electricity.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, Robert, you mentioned being able to play starting the game as a zombie. What
yeah,
you didn't mention is getting exposed to the chemical could turn you into a zombie during play.
Oh, yes. Yes, for those who haven't seen the film, the whole franchise revolves around this fictional trioxin chemical that was supposed to have been a military experiment. Kind of, to my mind, when I first heard of this movie and first watched through it and such, I was thinking of the whole Agent Orange situation, something that's made to be one thing, but turns out to have a completely different use and property. But in this case, yeah, these zombies in this film and this franchise, they're created by science, by like warped super science. This chemical permeates their cells, animates them, but you know, they're in constant pain because they're supposed to be dead. And they can feel their bodies decomposing. But eating fresh brains nullifies some of that pain, which is why they're constantly trying to eat people and things. And if you destroy them, depending on how you destroy them, you could get exposed to the traces of trioxin in their bodies,
yep.
which could put you down the sloping spiral towards medical death and undeath. And boy, howdy, is it a wild ride.
Brains.
Yeah, so yeah, because it's one of the new mechanics that they're introducing into this is zombification. There's multiple steps to it, so it's like, you know, initial contact, and eventually you just start, your body starts to slowly degrade until you hit that final level, where now you're just one of the horde. It's pretty cool.
And there is no cure. No. You can delay it if you're lucky, but it gets harder and harder to do that. And this isn't the first time we've seen something like this in Everyday Heroes, because like in the core book they have concepts of like the zombie virus or lycanthropy. There are things that are there that I think do hearken to that, but this one's pretty brutal though.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah, because yeah, this actually would be a really great place to actually take a look at that zombification condition that's in here. So yeah, here's the page. Yeah, basically, a living being exposed directly to this trioxin chemical, you can get this condition. And kind of like exhaustion, it comes in various levels. In fact, there are 6. Level 1, initial exposure is going to knock you on your ass. We're talking, for about 20 minutes, you are going to be dead to the world. Ba-dum-bum. Horrible pun. I know. Horrible pun. But basically, you get the unconscious condition. After this 20-minute nappy buy, as the chemical is saturating your cells and setting you up for a cascading organ failure, you wake up with a massive coughing fit. Your body's trying to get this crud out of your cells, quite literally. You get disadvantaged in all your ability checks because you just have this hacking cough. And then you get the burning chills at level 3. You're having the literal hot and cold flashes where your body's going up and down between the chill of the grave and a near fever pitch to burn the stuff out of you. Massive headaches as your brain is literally starting to die, which now coughing fit gave you disadvantage on ability checks. Now you got disadvantage on all attacks, all saving throws. You are not doing well. And finally, not finally, level 4, that's the flat line. You're dead. Your heart stops beating. You become room temperature. You got no pulse.
I'm room temperature right now. Does that mean I'm a zombie?
Or zombie adjacent. But like in the first movie, he says, "Well, I'm a little confused because I don't know why you're talking. Clinically you're dead." and then you get that level 5 rigor mortis where like your joints are seizing up. You're getting into that literal rictus of death. So your movement drops to 0. Reminds me a lot about the hopping vampires, the Jiangxi, from Chinese legend, where in death their bodies are so rigid from rigor mortis, all they can do is hop. They can't actually move. And that brings you to that ultimate phase of living death. You're a zombie now. You immediately gain the new living dead origin, which is effectively gives you reanimated cadaver, the pain of being alive, vigor mortis, and sense brains. Yep. Yeah, and there, the time sense exposure. There's not much in the way you can do to stop this thing. I mean, when the first time you're exposed, you got a DC of 20 to avoid making the direct contact.
Mm-hmm.
But once you get contact, there's no save for half. There's no save to end. If you fail that save to avoid, you got 20 minutes of Dead to the World. You got 1 hour of the burning chills. 1 hour of coughing fit. 2 hours of burning chills. And then another hour and a half, you're flatlining and seizing up. 3 hours from exposure, you're a zombie.
Mm-hmm.
This is terrifying.
And that's just the way it goes. And like they said, the blood starts to pool in on those spots as your body cools down and get like massive bruising all over. It's a hell of a condition, but on the upside is that, like you said, you get the sense brains. So in here it says you as a search action bonus, you can sense the presence of human brains, and the base DC for this is 10, and it increases by 5 for about every 10 feet that lies between you and your target. So you can kind of sniff them around corners if you need to. And you also get a bite attack as well. So you get it's a 1d6 piercing. It's melee range. The PV is 3. It's finesse and special.
Yeah, getting a PV of 3, that's massive.
Ooh,
That's some sharp dentition right there.
Oh my gosh.
Now, interestingly, even though it is effectively a form of unarmed natural weapon, it does not count as an unarmed strike for the purposes of, say, the martial artist class talents or stuff like that, which is good. It would be massively overpowered if it did that otherwise. But can you imagine, like, 3 rapid-fire shark bites? Say, no, just one bite at a time, thank you.
One of the other things too that that they have written in here too is that you're also now flammable. So if you are set on fire, the fumes that your body produces now induce that trioxin poison.
Oh, damn.
Which is really cool too.
I think that was the third movie that did that, right?
Yeah, they try to burn up a bunch of the things, and it gets into the air, creates effectively a trioxin acid rain, and that just goes poorly for everybody.
Yes.
Well, it was just a bag of rabid weasels, so
3 goblins in a trench coat.
Me oh my.
But so the book that we have is an early edition, so we're not exactly entirely sure what's going to be staying, what's going to be going, if there's going to be any adjustments to everything. But this is basically like what we're doing right now for everybody. If you're just catching in, or maybe you're snapping to, we've got like an early edition for this book, and so a lot of this stuff is maybe we'll change. Hopefully it'll all hopefully most of it will stay the same. But one of the things that they've added is the pain of being dead, and this is the disadvantage for playing this, is that that the longer you go between eating brains, you will start to suffer disadvantages to certain ability checks because your body is just always racked in pain.
Wait, my body's always racked in pain, and I don't crave brains.
Well, that's because we're working class, so
right.
We're basically The Walking Dead anyway. So
yeah, this is true.
We all work 3 jobs apiece.
That sounds about right.
Unfortunately, I only actually work one, but it's mentally tiring. But my body just hurts because of age.
Yeah.
That'll also do it.
I, I can't wait for this summer break.
What's the summer break? I don't get those.
Yeah. So we got so moving forward here, we also got new backgrounds.
Ooh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, we've got fresh meat, we've got military brat, we've got punk poser, punk rocker, the veteran of '69, and oh yeah, and worm food. That's
hmm
all of them right there.
I tell you, as a military brat in real life, I love the military brat background. I think that works really well. There is a similar concept in the core book, like the military tradition, like you grew up in a military family. But
Hmm.
this one here though is a particularly classic film trope of the military brat that works really well for this style of story. You're either the studious, smarter military brat kid, or you're the really athletic military brat kid.
Hmm.
So you learned how to hotwire your dad's Jeep, or you learned how to, you know, do some of the drills with your dad's buddies when they were getting ready for PT. And I really like that one personally. But
Or you
uh,
steal a jet and go rescue your dad who got shot down.
right. and and they even make a point of having the veteran of '69. That's
Hmm.
not a reference to the Vietnam War. That's a reference to the events of the first movie,
Yeah.
or events referenced in the first movie. Yeah.
Hmm.
So that's a nice callback in there, and this being a film that's sort of that classic kind of almost '80s punk rock situation, having the punk poser in there and the punk rocker, that works really damn well. And having two backgrounds that are specifically designed to go with the new Living Dead origin. Actually,
Hmm.
that's really nice support for that new origin. Like especially if you want to be someone that can, you know, still pass for a living. That fresh meat one's really good.
I don't think we mentioned it, but this takes place in the 80s, so there are no cell
Yeah.
phones.
Right.
Right.
You got to run your payphone if you want to phone a friend. Don't forget your 25 cents.
Yeah, you might get one of those cutting edge folks with those massive honking briefcase corded things, but that's
I didn't
Jetson's.
see that, and I didn't see that in the new equipment list.
Nope.
Dave, when you listen to this, we need a portable phone.
That would be a rare item, extraordinarily
Yes,
rare.
Yeah.
at 8.95 a minute.
8.95 a minute. Damn. And
Yeah.
that brings us to our new professions, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Did you mention worm food?
Oh yeah,
We did.
yeah.
Uh,
That's the other Living Dead origin. If you want
yes.
if you want to be able to be that freshly turned zombie that can still pass for the living, you go fresh meat. If you
Hmm.
want to be a decidedly been dead a while corpse that is not mistaken for anything but another corpse, you take the worm food. You're stronger, and you can pick any one proficiency to reflect. Oh hey, I used to be the guy that drove the ice cream truck back in 1955, or I was the town vet 50 years ago. So you pick appropriate proficiency, but your special trait is literally called stinking corpse. There is no way you're hiding this, and you are likely going to terrify any living creature that comes near you.
Or you could be Ahmed, the the wildly inappropriate puppet guy.
Oh
Run around going,
God!
"I kill you!
Oh God!
Hey, Daniel!
Shut up! I kill you!"
Yeah. Now we have, like you said, the new professions, and there's a couple in here I like. I mean, I like them all, but there's some more than others. So new professions, we have Darrow Chemical Executive. Now, Darrow Chemical is the partner with the Army that came up with the trioxin. So you could work for, or once worked for that chemical company.
Yep.
We have grave robber.
Classic.
Well, you don't see too many grave robbers now. They're called archaeologists. You have a medical supply
Yep.
worker where you just work in a medical supply warehouse. And sell all kinds of, or have access to all kinds of things in there. Whether you want to be their delivery driver, warehouse front, foreman, but they service every sector of the medical industry, from veterinarians to medical schools. So if you need a cadaver, you can go pick one up.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You need a crutch. You need a cadaver. You need you need medical supplies.
Yep.
Mortuary service. This is one of the ones I like. Funeral director or an embalmer. Oh, interesting. I know someone who does this in real life, so this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
They added paramedic.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, about time.
I thought this should have been one of the original classes in the main book, but
I agree.
then you have a sleeper agent, because it is the 80s.
Right.
So you're a double agent, a mole working for a foreign non-American power. Your ultimate goal is to steal data on trioxin and also a sample from either the U.S. Army or Darrow Chemical Company to take back to your country. You've worked for years to create a separate identity that you can slip into as easily as a new pair of jeans.
Yeah.
And that's the new professions there.
Yeah.
So there's some cool ones in there.
Lots of good narrative hooks in all of these.
Oh, yes, definitely.
So one of the big things about Sleeper Agent, now it's not talked about a whole lot in the first movie. I haven't seen Rave to the Grave or Necropolis. I haven't seen either of those yet, so I don't know how much it ties into that. But I did learn that. So John Russo wrote Return of the Living Dead way, way back in the day. He wrote a novel. It was the follow-up to Night of the Living Dead. He wrote the script to the movie. The studio hated it, rewrote it, and then they hired John Russo to write another novel called Return of the Living Dead based on the script that they picked over his script. And in the novel, the sleeper agent is way more prevalent throughout that. It's like Russia is trying to get it, and like it's part of the reason why the Easter eggs got spread everywhere. And so it plays a lot more. Like John Russo really fleshes out the characters and more of that political intrigue in the novelization of the movie. So I actually learned that because there's a YouTube channel. If you look it up, I can't remember off the top of my head, but if you type in like Return of the Living Dead novelization, there's only like one or two videos out there on it. But one guy literally he goes through. I think actually I may have mentioned him before on the channel. But anyway, so he actually goes from like the start to finish, really just kind of telling you all the differences between the film and the book, and that's one of the biggest things in there. So yeah, go find the video and learn more about it and see how it all fits in and see how you can do it. I recommend it.
Very cool.
Yeah. All right. So I know we were talking about we're going to split this up, everybody. This is the start of it. I believe in the next episode we were going to go into the classes. So in the next, because there's, as I'm sure everybody is aware of our journey through the classes of the core rule book and through
And the
vault,
There's
it can
a
be a
lot of
little dry and long in the
Rosemary
tooth.
is dreading going through classes, and we still have charming heroes left to do.
Oh my God! Yes.
He is ready to yeet himself off the building, as the kids would say today.
But for the sake of completing the series, we do need to do Charming Heroes at some point, and there are legitimately, just like we saw in the other archetypes, there are some really cool narrative and mechanical things in the Charming Heroes that I am excited to dive into.
Yeah.
But there are 3 new classes in this one, but that's something we're gonna save for next time.
Yep.
Now, what we haven't mentioned is the Kickstarter release is coming up soon. Hopefully, bro,
Yes.
you can get this uploaded maybe tomorrow or over the weekend because
Yeah.
the Kickstarter goes live, I believe, on Tuesday, May 27th, which would be
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday upcoming, the Tuesday after
Yep.
Memorial Day. If you save it now, I think there's a little special extra thing you get if you back it.
Ooh.
I know I saved it when I first, when it first got posted to save me
Mhm.
because I knew I was going to back this anyway. Also with the backing, I, I don't know if that's going to be public, but there's a secret tier.
Ooh.
Is that just for those of us who volunteer on the ego stuff?
I don't know.
I don't know if that's because Dave's calling it the secret tier,
Hmm.
but I think it's like $100.
Hmm.
And I think he posted it on the Discord. I could be wrong, but you get like a year subscription of Sidekick included with that, as well as a couple other benefits on top of the normal Kickstarter.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, I think that was $99. I'm on the fence about backing that one or backing a lesser one. I've had some unexpected expenses this month.
Yeah.
So, and they've been high. So I have to see where I'm going to back. I'm definitely backing it, because it's always cheaper to back it and you get extra cool stuff when you back it on Kickstarter
Right.
than just buying, the main book. Like I backed the original Kickstarter like you guys did, and I got some pins, I've got minis, I've got dice,
Yeah.
I've got a bunch of things. So I like extras. I don't know about you guys.
They are
Oh,
fun.
absolutely.
They are fun.
And if the photo is any indicator in one of the last emails, it looks like they're going really balls to the wall, all out on this shit. So it looks like there's gonna have like two separate sets of dice. One are like white dice with blood splatters, and then the other ones are clear with little tiny brains on the inside.
I did
That's
see those.
cool.
Yes.
And then they're gonna have a dice tray that is it's the tar man in the window. So it's like the zombie that's like that. That's on the bottom of the dice tray. That
Ooh.
looks killer. Um,
Ooh.
I saw like there's like a cardboard like coffin packaging. I don't know what that belongs to. It looks like there might even be like a dice tower possibly. It's kind of hard to tell. It's kind of all over, but man, it looks like they're really going all out for this one, and makes sense. It's what is it the 40th anniversary this year?
That sounds right.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
Yeah.
was it? Wait, the third? No, it had to be the 40th because 30th would
yeah,
go back us to the 90s. So I think it's the 40th. I think it was like what 1984 or 1985 rather.
85. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
85.
So 40,
So
40
40
years.
years. 40 years.
Where were
Nah,
you in 1985?
still my dad's ball sack.
Yeah. I was born in '86, so that's a little before me.
Yeah,
No,
87. So
I was running around as a terror. Yes, I'm the oldest one of this ensemble, and that's why
yeah,
my back hurts when I sleep.
we're all getting the gray beard. So I mean, we're not
Like,
exactly the youngest of you.
like I'm getting the gray beard, like mine's white. All right, that's why I don't have my beard anymore. It's white, not gray.
But yeah, oh my gosh, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I really am. The issue that I've been coming into, and it's
Issues?
not
There's no issues here.
well, no, not with Evil Genius, but
Oh,
something
okay.
I've been. So I'm doing my due diligence. I've been trying to spread the gospel of the Return of the Living Dead game, and this is just a side. This, I guess tying back into the what I started off the video with is I've been trying to share the game with some of the Return of the Living Dead Facebook pages, and they keep killing it. They just kill my post every single time.
Those
And so
bastards.
if you're out there in the audience, if you know any horror podcasts, if you know any horror Facebook pages, please share this video with everybody. Make sure to please share the Kickstarter page with wherever you can. Let's try to get as many backers as possible on this, because this is huge. Really, I mean, it's the first cinematic adventure that they've released since the start of the game. I'd like to see this really just blow up, even just for people who are collectors of horror stuff. I mean, how fucking cool is it to have a set of dice with like bloody brains in the middle of them, or blood splattered dice, and like I said, there's a couple Facebook groups out there, and I know the reason why they're doing it is because the cast from the first movie are members of the page. So I think that's why they're killing it, because they're like, whole stupid bullshit. But if you can try to get it in front of Return of the Living Dead fans, so that way it's like, hey, this is another thing you can add to your collection. You can put it on your wall. You can put it on your bookshelf. You can just flip through it and read. But the more people we get behind buying the game and playing it, we can really grow this community. Man, it's so friggin' awesome. Just grow the tent. I'd love to see that.
So I'm going to throw this out there.
Sure.
Origins is coming up next month in mid-June. I
Yes.
will be there. I am running some ego events on Thursday. I'm doing a character creation and Pt.1 on Wednesday night. If you're going to be at Origins, you can check the schedule. My games are all sold out. But if you want to talk
Whoa.
about Night of the Living Dead,
Nice.
I will not have it printed. I will have a digital copy with me on my tablet. So if anybody has any questions or want to talk about it, I'd be happy to talk about it with you. And just give you a sneak preview of what's to come, because I think the Kickstarter will probably still going on if they do it for a month. May 27th, that should be about 3 weeks into it, as long as it's still going and they do it for the month. Then, I'll give you a sneak preview of it, whether Dave says so or not.
Right. And God willing, I'll be there with you. So.
Well,
Sadly, I will not be able to attend this year. Just switching some job stuff and a little financial crunch, but hopefully I will be there in and other conventions throughout the year. And of course, I'll be. You'll hear my voice with you guys here on the podcast.
In fact, what I might do is I might take out my phone and talk to everybody after each session and see if they have any what they think, and maybe
nice.
get some recordings for the podcast.
Awesome. Very cool.
And hopefully people will comment down below. Like, let us know what did we discuss in here that you liked the most. What is it that really stands out to you? What are you excited for? Because I'm not gonna lie, paramedic is the one thing that I've just been. You go back to like the earliest episodes, and it's like, holy crap! It was one of the things that I always played in D20 Modern. So it's cool that it's here. We finally got it. So it's hard to beat.
Really is.
Next time we will have to discuss they mentioned a few new vehicles in there as well, so we'll have to talk about that next time as well.
One of the most
gear.
The pimpinest ride you can.
Pimp my ride.
Yeah, we definitely have a real to die for episode coming up soon.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I can't wait.
So,
we can even spread this out to 3 episodes, really.
Maybe,
we really could. Yeah.
So
I don't think Dave and the other folks at Evil Genius will mind us talking up the Kickstarter on our podcast for a couple of times.
Oh, not at all. But I know Dave was like, "Where's your next show? Where's your next show? Where's your next show?" I'm like, "Sorry, dude, we've been a little bit busy. We haven't been able to sit down and record it. And life just gets in the way. We apologize for the lapse in between our last show and this one. We'll try and be more steady again, like we were. But please forgive us. Life does get in the way. As much as we love this, we have other responsibilities, unfortunately. But hopefully we can get back on track and get back to our bi-weekly, episodes
Cheers to
Yeah.
that.
and keep you guys informed and new information and stuff about the game itself. We like to hear. If you're in the Evil Genius Discord, reach out to us.
Yeah.
If you
Here,
if you
here.
have ideas, talk about them. I'm gonna plug this. I was talking to Bro and Robert before we started recording. A little teaser now. A friend and I are working on uh, I guess you call it an intro adventure to Everyday Heroes, with pre-generated characters. And all I'm going to say is it is set in the 80s.
Nice.
And when it gets,
Cool.
when we finish it up and put it out there, we hope to put it on Sidekick, maybe Drive Through RPG. I will announce what it is, tell you the title, and give you a small synopsis so you guys can check it out.
Yeah.
Here, here.
It's gonna be sweet.
I hope
So,
so. I hope everybody likes it. I'm having fun creating it.
I'm looking forward to reading it.
yeah, same. What else? What other housekeeping we have?
Do we have
Uh,
any news or anything like that we can discuss?
well, I do. I started up a Redemption HQ alliance. If anybody is out there playing the Godzilla X Kong mobile game that's out there right now, what was
Ooh.
it called? Titan Chasers. If you're interested, we have an official alliance of Redemption HQ. You can come join. You can play with me. I don't know if these guys want to join. I know Spectral, you're kind of iffy on Kong, and that's okay. Um, but yeah, I play every day. I'm there. I'm the lead. I'm the alliance leader. We've got several people, but there's a couple people I'm gonna probably have to kick out because it doesn't look like they've been playing for a while. But yeah, there's plenty of space for everybody that wants to join. So come look. Look for me on there. Come join. Have fun.
Here, here.
Rob. Yeah, Rob. You got anything?
Uh, well, there's a little something, but I want to save a little announcement until after the Kickstarter launches, so I can uh, share the good news that about something I'm involved with that's in that Kickstarter page. But I've had a long dormant YouTube channel. I mean, I posted two things 3 years ago, but I'm going through some job shifts and such right now, so I'm hoping to try and get that back up and running after a title change and all. Uh, and other than that, yeah, super excited for the Return of the Living Dead Kickstarter. Super excited for the Cosmo RPG books that are coming out this summer,
Hmm.
and really bummed I don't have the resources at present to join you guys at Origins this year, but I'm going to be there in spirit. Going to be cheering you all on and wishing that all of your 20s be natural.
And just one last reminder, the Armory is getting closer and closer to release. It
Yes.
is now May.
Yes.
I thought, July, I think was the potential target. I don't remember
Hmm.
exactly, but it's getting there. We're getting there for the Armory. They're getting the finalizations in, so, we're going to get there sooner rather than later with the Armory for 700 new weapons to introduce.
Hmm.
So,
I was gonna say they released a mini preview of several weapons, if I'm not mistaken, just recently.
Yeah, they did.
they did. I think
So
that was on Sidekick, actually.
yeah, yeah, that was pretty cool. They had some several rifles. They've got just like offbeat weapons. I think they had stats for a slingshot, if I remember correctly. So yeah, they've got all sorts of stuff in there. Oh, squirt gun. That was one of the other ones too. They've got squirt guns in there, so you you can run around and squirt people. It's pretty cool. Looking forward to that.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah, and I finally joined. Kick the sidekick. Finally,
Yay!
finally, everybody. So now you don't have to suffer through me trying to like flip through cinematic adventures and trying to read what their flavor texts were being corrected on it. Oh my god.
Oh,
I can actually read it.
that reminds me. If you haven't joined Sidekick yet and you're kind of on the fence, one, I do believe it's worth the money. But
Yes.
two,
Really is.
Evil Genius and Dave have been releasing for download for free if you are a subscriber. You know, not the free tier, but the actual paid subscriber.
Yeah.
Some of the cinematic adventures that are no longer available,
Yes.
Yeah.
and an adventure. So I think last week was the Rambo cinematic, and then next week or this Saturday we'll get a code. So you have until each Friday to subscribe to get the free thing.
Right.
Is an adventure for Rambo. I can't remember which one it
and
was.
then I think the next cinematic adventure coming up after the Rambo stuff is finished I think it's going to be Universal Soldier next.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the Highlander.
Oh yeah, and they've got the character builder up.
Oh,
Yep.
it's not. I don't think it's fully done yet, but
Not
it
fully
is
done.
doing some maths.
But it's got good bones.
Yep. Yep. Like I just showed in the camera there, and yeah, you got the store library. Oh, there was a new book that they added too. A cool third party that just popped up there for everybody. Requiem.
Oh yeah.
By Dreamslayer Studios, $14.99. I haven't gotten it yet, but yeah, it's a brand new one on there.
They did that really cool live play YouTube series when they kind of blended the Crow, Highlander, and Assassin's Creed together.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I've been spending my tickets on the monthly stuff, like Everyday 20s, Everyday Apocalypse.
Those have been really fun. And we had that new haunting one for Ghost Hunters.
Yeah.
Really, very supernatural.
Did they release that one, or they just talk about it?
Oh no, I used some of my tickets to get that just earlier this week.
Oh, maybe I did pick that up.
Yeah, it's all about literally being a ghost hunter and mechanics for hauntings and such.
Ghost Facers. Oh wait, that's the wrong show. Supernatural reference.
Yep, Ghost Chasers.
Facers, Ghost Facers.
Ghost Facers, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, those kooky kids.
Yeah, they got Everyday 20s, Everyday Apocalypse, Haunting, Spies, First Contact Specialists. Yeah, I've made sure anything Kong related I usually pick up right away because I'm mad for monkeys, man.
Yeah, I've been really digging the monthly releases that they've been coming up with. You know, I downloaded the Everyday Apocalypse PDF. I'm like, oh, this could be fun. You know, I got the Everyday 20s. I'm like, come on, who doesn't want to be a gangster or you know, the Untouchables? You know, that's essentially what you would be, because we play heroes, we don't play bad guys. But maybe if we did.
And sometimes you can have that gangster with a heart of gold.
I mean, who's gonna stop me? You know.
Lucky Luciano, that's who.
The G-Men? Are the G-Men gonna come get me?
Never discount Elliot Ness. Always pay your taxes, people. Always pay your taxes.
Yep. Matter of fact, Al Capone sat in Eastern State Penitentiary in Philadelphia for some time, and they still have his jail cell the way it was when he stayed there. So
it was almost like a hotel room.
Yeah, you can see all the amenities he had in there. If you're ever in Philadelphia and you're looking for something to do, stop by Eastern State Penitentiary and you can check out Al Capone's jail cell.
Cool.
But do it the right way, you know.
Well, it's a museum now, essentially.
Oh, okay. It's a museum. Okay.
Allegedly, it is haunted too, because they do open it up for the spooky season.
Oh, that's cool.
And do a haunted house through it.
Wow.
Nothing like an old prison, you know. Sometimes you can hear the prisoners scream.
That will do it.
Cold drops in temperature, you know.
Yeah. The kiss of spider webs on your forehead and cheeks.
The chill of death. Well, that's an interesting note.
Yeah. Once again,
Good night, everybody.
topic. Yep. All right, we should probably just wrap it up about now.
Yeah, 'cause we're
Yeah.
about the hour mark.
And
Yeah.
maybe next week or the following week we can get together for the next episode and talk about part two
Yeah, take a look
Mm-hmm.
at
and see
some
where we go
cool
from there.
classes. Awesome.
Can't wait.
Great to be back with you all.
And we're signing off. Everybody, thank you again for watching Redemption HQ and sticking with us. We are happy to be back. And we are looking forward to your comments down below. Please remember to click the like and subscribe, and please share the videos and help spread the word of Everyday Heroes and our grassroots effort in trying to proselytize this fantastic game and all these wonderful cinematic adventures. And we hope that we've captured your imagination and your interest. And for anybody out there, if you're a horror podcast, if you happen to find us, please reach out to our email. We usually have it in the comments or down in the description. You can find us there. Reach out if you want to talk to us, any of us, about the Return of the Living Dead game. You want to get some kind of insight on it too, we're happy to talk to you as well. With that, everybody, have a great night, or a great morning, or a good day at work.